The interesting thing about knowing from a young age that you don't want marriage or children is that it automatically decenters men from your life. The three things that men have historically had to offer women, money, marriage, children, are things that I don't want or need. I have my own money, I have my own job, I have my own house, I have my own car, I have my own friends, I have my own hobbies. I filled my life with beautiful things that bring me joy and happiness and contentment. I also don't have a giant imaginary biological clock counting down the seconds to my impending infertility, so I don't have to settle down, with the operative word being settle. You'd think that men would be happy with this, that I don't want or need anything from them, I just like them for them. But what I'm effectively doing is taking away their control over my ability to leave. Money, marriage, children. Some men just don't like that at all. Don't get me wrong, I've had some beautiful relationships with men where the thing that tied us together was the fact that we loved and liked each other. But some men really don't like knowing that you would be absolutely fine without them. And I am. I'm not just surviving without a man, I'm thriving without a man. I don't need a man to provide my happily ever after. I provide it for myself every single day.
When a woman tells me she is single and not actively dating, my heart goes boom, boom, boom. And I high key think she's the most badass person in the world. And I want to congratulate her for choosing herself, for letting me know that she's the kind of woman who has high standards and an endless amount of self-love, that she doesn't want to center her life around men. And I want to be best friends with her. That decentering of men and focus solely on your own peace, your own success, your own joy, that's the kind of vibe that I want to be in forever and a day. And together, me and her and all the women like us can go build a matriarchal commune on a tropical beach somewhere and just live our best lives together doing badass women shit. So if that's you, oh, hey girl, hey! Let's be best friends. And for real, it does happen. I have met three incredible women on the internet, on Instagram, on TikTok, who are in this vibe. And it's out there, it's possible, and we just need to connect, okay? So I can't wait to meet you. So bestie, make sure you're getting that follow and drop it in the comments. Let's connect.
She said women who center men don't age like this. I get it, because people who pour into others who don't pour back, that will wear you down pretty quick. But it's not about decentering men. It's about centering yourself. Thinking about what you need to feel fulfilled. Think about what you need to bring you peace. What do you need to bring you happiness? Honestly, that's been the biggest shift for me at this age, because my kids are older now. I think we're taught as women, and especially as moms, that being a good person is putting yourself last, taking care of your kids, taking care of your spouse, making sure everyone at work is taken care of. It's like our job is just to be selfless and to take care of other people. Here's the thing. You can love people deeply, but still make space to prioritize yourself. As a mom to a 28-year-old son and 24-year-old daughter, this is definitely something that I want to model for them, is that if you take care of yourself, you will do a better job being a partner, being a mom, being a dad, because you are whole. So ladies, here's your call to action. What is one small shift that you can make to center yourself? Put it in the comments. Tell me, what is the shift you're going to make to center yourself?
All right, let's talk about this whole decentering men conversation, because some of y'all hear that and immediately think it means shaving your head, moving to the woods, and starting a man-hating book club.
So I was talking to this older Daisy lady, and she has been married for over 30 years, and she literally told me, whenever you decide to get remarried, do not love your husband. She's like, you need to be able to get up and walk away at any point that disrespect starts. Mind you, she's 60, and she told me that men are not meant to be loved. She 100% agree with me. Do not love him. Do not fall in love with the man. You use him solely for provisions. That's it. And she helps me with Quran and everything, and she was telling me that love is supposed to be found within yourself and your friends and your community, your sisters, your cousins. She was basically saying your aunties, just women.
It is a Sunday. I did my hair. I gave myself a little, blow dry. It's not too crazy, okay? Did my makeup, put on some sexy PJs, okay? Because why not? And I'm just going to overshare with you guys because I feel like I haven't done that in a hot minute. I got asked on many dates this weekend by a number of different men, and I'm not even joking when I say that I am so unbothered, guys. I mean, I know it's really bad. Like at some point, it's like you kind of need to get out of your bubbles again. But like, I'm not even joking, guys. Like, I've said no to every single one of these men, and instead, I've chosen to just sit here. And I've chosen just to sit here in my pajamas and speak to you guys and do something that I love and do something that I'm passionate about. And something that excites me, and then work on myself. I've been doing journaling. I spent the whole day journaling, decluttering my space, talking therapy. I have a great support system around me, and I'm so blessed and thankful for that. And also doing my one-to-one sessions with you guys, which I love doing. And I've chosen me. I've chosen me, and here I am, 30 years old. I mean, I'm fabulous, you know, like sometimes I think I'm too fabulous to be sat at home. But, you know, that's peace. That is the epitome of black cat energy. When you guys ask me black cat energy, it's about choosing yourself. It's about pouring into yourself. I could have easily got ready and gone out and gone on dates with these men and sat there and put my game face on and tried to meet somebody, but instead I chose myself. I chose myself. I chose my happiness. I chose my peace. I chose myself. If you are also on your healing journey, if you are on a journey of elevating, then you know what I'm talking about. This is the thing about healing. You just get to a point where men just become so mediocre to you. And before all the men jump down my throat in the comments, okay, calm down, relax. Decentering men is not about hating men. Decentering men is about women finally learning to center themselves, learning to prioritize themselves, putting all that energy and that love to herself. And I love that. I love that. So yeah, guys, I hope you all had a lovely weekend. I'm choosing me, and I'm going to keep on choosing me, and I'll let you guys know when I decide to choose someone. I'm not too sure when that will be, but right now, I like it here. In fact, I don't just like it here, I love it here. I really love it here. So take this as your sign to choose you and to finally decenter men from your life and center yourself. Because the amount of peace that you feel, ladies, and the amount of love, okay, this like intense rush of love just fills you up. That's why I don't need validation, because I validate myself. I love myself. I love my life. I love the beautiful life that I've created for myself. And I love my strength, and I love my resilience, and I love how I'm able to just keep on showing up for myself. And yeah, this is your sign to just love yourself a little bit more today. And happy Sunday, guys. You guys have a blessed Sunday. I love you guys, and I'm just sharing the love today.
Relax. That's not what this is. This isn't about hating men. It's about finally putting yourself back in the center of your own life, where you were supposed to be the whole time. Because if we're being honest, a lot of people don't actually want love. They want what love gives them. They want the validation. They want the reassurance. They want someone to text them good morning so they can feel like they matter that day. And listen, if your self-worth disappears because someone didn't text you back, that's not romance. That's emotional outsourcing. You basically hired a stranger as your self-esteem manager. And now you're mad they're underperforming. Be serious.
Boy, this decentering man thing really got y'all pennies in a bunch. And a crunch. You be crunchy. Let me just break this down real quick. So, women are saying, well, you should have never had men at the center in the first place. Yeah, ladies, shut up. Just shut up. 'Cause let's take it there. I mean, if you are a believer in Jesus Christ, you know that men are the head, according to 1 Corinthians 11:3. You also know that God gave order, which is God, man, woman, child. See, The women that has such problem with me decentering men because men should have never been in the center are literally the ones, in my opinion, that have the hidden agendas. You guys clearly never gave man such leadership authority in your life nor over your life. So this is the exact reason why you don't understand why I had to de-center. You've been able to manipulate men your whole life so very well that you were able to get them to still do what you want them to do without completely surrendering unto God's order. And that's the reason why you don't understand why I have to decenter men. I mean, can we really have a conversation about this and really speak on the effects of Christianity and how believing in God in such a miraculous, radical way can indeed get in the way of your reality and your hope? Can we talk about that?
I truly believe that decentering men will have you dressing up better, dressing up for yourself and not for the male gaze. And I have some photos to show you just to prove the difference in my life personally on decentering men and just not dressing up for the male gaze. So I went out last Sunday trying on new jeans, and this was the first pair. It was like my default old style jeans that I used to wear. And I was just like, I could take this home, but like, this is nothing different to what I'm used to. Like, I have these jeans probably in a different shade in my apartment. So I decided just to pass on this ones and then try a different pair from a completely different brand. But from the back, you can see like, yes, my booty looks good, nice silhouette. Yeah, obviously we'll get some attention, but I was just not in the mood anymore. And then I decided to try these jeans, and I was just like, oh wow, I can breathe better. Those are comfortable. Yes, I look like I have a flat ass, but do I care about it? Not. That's not the type of attention that I want. And then I also remember that probably like 4 years ago, right after COVID, I had an on-site meeting and I decided to wear this dress. And I was just wondering, like, why would I dress up like that? Like, why would I wear a red dress to a work meeting in Miami? Why? Why would I do this to myself? Because yes, I was wearing my extensions, I look good, but I was just like, it was a work meeting and I was dressed up like if I was going on a date. And then I came back to a realization, like, this is how I dress up. Like, I'm going out for work and this is how I dress up now. It's like, I would never wear a red dress for the office, but I'm also not caring anymore for the male gaze. So for me, when I look at these pictures, it's like, yeah, I have decenter man and I no longer care. And that's exactly what you should do. I'm not saying don't dress up sexy. I'm not saying don't wear the red dresses, but like, think twice. Are you dressing up for yourself or are you dressing up for the male gaze? And then you'll notice the right answer will come to you right away.
See, the uncomfortable truth is, a lot of people aren't struggling to decenter men. They're struggling to sit alone with themselves without needing applause. Because when it gets quiet, no compliments, no attention, no you're so pretty, no I miss you, you're left with one question. Do I even like me without an audience? And that's where the real work starts. Because it's easy to feel powerful when someone wants you. It's a whole different level of power when you want yourself. That's the shift. Not I don't need men, but I'm not using people to feel whole anymore. Big difference. Now, here's where it gets funny. Some of y'all used to go on dates like it was a job interview.
I swear, us women, we are so trained to be pick-me-shas and we're so trained to worship men and want their validation. But I'll give you 10 things why it's not worth it and why I started decentering men in my life. Number 1, I stopped putting men on the pedestal. I really don't care. Kahit mayaman pa yan, guwapo pa yan, sikat pa yan, I really don't give a shit. People dati, whenever I go on dates, I would get nervous. Like, oh my God, maybe I might say something stupid. I'm so insecure and I overthink. Point, I'm not myself. Almost whenever I go on dates, I have to perform. Now I don't care. Even at one point, I accidentally smeared makeup on my date's shirt. And do you think I care? No, because it was an accident. At the point that I just say the most unhinged thing, just say the craziest shit in front of him, and I don't care. Almost it's kind of cringy, but you know what? I don't care. To be cringe is to be free, babes. I realize men are not special. They are boring and bland and have no personality. It's women's charm and magic that puts men on the pedestal. It's just us, babes. When it comes to media, politics, always the man that's powerful. It's always the man that has control. You know what? The average man, they don't go in therapy. The average man doesn't know how to do his own laundry. How do you expect him to lead you, babes? Like, literally, they weaponize their incompetence. You know what I mean? They have no emotional intelligence. So when it comes to emotions, they're not regulated. Like, oh my God, good luck in finding an emotionally regulated man. You know what men always do? They're the most violent type of people. Whenever they watch football, they get crazy and then they throw the phones, they destroy the TV. Is that what you call emotional intelligence? No, and we always put them on a pedestal, but they make the most dumbest thing ever. They're not special, babes. Number 3, I use my energy, time, resources very wisely. I use it to build my health, my career, my business, my life. I do not use it for male's validation because I don't care anymore. At the end of the day, why would you want a male's validation or your partner's validation? Because study shows that whenever you excel more than your partner, your male counterpart will resent it. Male partners are not happy for their female partners achieving. If you find one, good luck. You're the exception, but there's a rule, babes. Men are really subconsciously programmed to hate women when it comes to excelling. Whenever you date a man or a dusty who is below you or who cannot achieve the same level as you, instead of being supportive or, I don't know, being there for you to give you energy and help, no, they're not gonna help you. They're gonna resent you. And you know what? Subconsciously, they want to sabotage you because they're that jealous. This also applies to male friendships because I don't think men and women should be friends. Honestly, that's a whole topic. Men are really competitive to the point that they even want to compete with their partners. They don't want to support them. So you know what? I use my energy so wisely to my friends, my family, and my women friendships. Like, I'd rather associate with them because men will never understand. They don't understand women's problems. They think about themselves. Therefore, it means no stress. Do I need to explain myself with that? My God, the male gaze. Freaking male gaze. Whenever I started decentering men, I used to change myself. I used to put makeup. I used to look good for the male gaze. You know, I have to look good for men. I have to look sexy for men. You know what? I've just realized if you started decentering men and you don't give a shit, the male gaze is abundant, babes. It's everywhere. At the point you get catcalled, even if you're not wearing makeup, even if you're wearing a freaking hoodie, even if you're like wearing a trash can, you're gonna be called beautiful, babes. Even when my hair looks frizzy, they're gonna be like, oh, I like your hair. Because the male gaze is abundant. Even if you vomit to a guy, as me, babes, you are gonna be the most prettiest woman in the world. I see women getting Botox. I see women being insecure because of the freaking male gaze. They get plastic surgery, Botox, fillers in hopes to please the male gaze. Honey, sweetie, no, you don't even need to, babes, because the male gaze is the most lowest form of compliment and validation that you can get. Honestly, I would even equate it less than garbage. Kasi at least yung garbage, pwede may pakilot, pwede kang magkapera, okay? Feel bad for women in relationships that they do the most. They put so much effort. And you know what the man is gonna do? He's gonna cheat to someone who doesn't give a shit. Even she doesn't have to put any effort, you know? He's gonna cheat on you. He's gonna go for the girl who's not even gonna wear makeup or is not gonna do anything about her appearance. Babes, the male gaze is so abundant to the point that you don't even need to search it. It's gonna come to you. Even if you don't want it, they're gonna come to you because they have no boundaries. They're not even worth it because even if you try so hard, you can be the hottest girl and you can look so pretty. You know what? They're gonna eventually cheat. They're gonna be bored of you and look for someone else. Like, look at Beyonce. She got cheated on. Come on, babes. Look at Megan Fox. Babes, there's no freaking hope, babes. Like, even celebrities get cheated on. Daniel Padilla. When it comes to my male interaction, it's more about just acquaintances and fun. Whenever I meet male counterparts, it's just like, hi, hello, I had fun, thanks, nice meeting you, bye. Ganun. Whenever I meet male counterparts or a guy, because since I usually center men around my life, always like, oh my God, he has to be the one. I think he's the one. I think we should be together. Like, stuff like that. Like, oh God. I just don't care. I'm like, I enjoy my own company. I have so much fun. I can give everything to myself that even a man cannot afford because an average man, I don't know how much they make, but rare. Some rich men are not generous. Like, eventually, if he spends money on you, he's gonna resent you, babes. Like all men do. I don't care. If I'm not your type, block, mute, I don't care. Like, bye. It's easy. I enjoy my own company and I really love myself to the point that I do not want to disrupt my peace, babes, okay? They keep saying a woman should be a man's peace. No, babes, men are women's chaos. It can sound very controversial, but I think most women's problems are stemmed from a man. Because you know why? There's a saying, right? Every successful man has a very supportive wife behind him. Here's the gag. With every failed woman, the reason that caused that is a man. They got trapped from marriage. They got trapped from pregnancy. They got trapped. They got manipulated. They got gaslighted. They got insecure. Non-ending cycle. And people are gonna call me, oh, you're just bitter. Not bitter. I'm just like giving you the truth. If you can't handle the truth, maybe that's why you call me bitter. So stop gaslighting women and stop policing women for telling the truth, because accept the fact that that's the truth. Number 8, I realized they're not good for my mental health. I did all the therapy, I did journaling, I did reflection in the past years of my life. And when was I the most miserable? When I was the most messed up version of myself? Oh, guess what? Because you were so infatuated with a man, you're so in love with a man, you became stupid because of a man. This also applies with male friendship. Like, male friendship to women are not healthy. They just use women to get ideas on what women like so that they can use that ideas to attract other women. They're just using it as a weapon, babes. And friendship are very toxic. You never see men say I love you to each other. You never see men talk to each other about feelings. No, it's women. Women are like, you know, when women have problems, they're like, oh, babes, let's get some coffee. Let's talk about it. You know what? Your boss sucks. You know what men do? They're just gonna bully each other and say, you know what? You lost your job because you're stupid. And then they're gonna trauma dump on women because they have no emotions. So yeah, men friendships, oh my gosh, as a woman, save yourself and I don't know, keep your peace because they're not good for you. And also, I might get some flack for this, but I don't care. Even LGBT friendship that are men, like paminta, toxic. No. As a trans woman, scary. Number 9, muting, blocking, moving on. Oh my god, that is my sport. I literally don't care. If I get rejected, ha! Your loss, not mine. I remember that day I used to fantasize and romanticize a new person in my life, especially if it's a man. Usually put them in a pedestal. Oh my god. Remember, I would used to analyze everything, used to fixate on our date, analyze everything, romanticize, like, oh my god, he said hello to me. Oh my god, what is he thinking? Is he thinking about me? Ngayon, oh my god, I don't care. I really don't care about the outcome. I'm just happy with my own life. I don't have any burdens. I don't need to be I don't know, a domestic helper, a therapist, a nanny. Now I just don't care. If it doesn't work, I don't care. Lastly, number 10, I started to build more community with my female friendships. I don't see women as competition. I feel like society has always pitted women against each other just for male validation, which the male gaze, again, is the lowest form of validation that you can get in society, babes. Through this, I swear, I've deprogrammed my internal misogyny. I've cultivated more friends with women because we get each other. We have to stick with each other, babes, okay? Don't treat your female friends that they're a competition because, I don't know, Daryl likes her more than you. You know what? Daryl's gonna get old anyway. It's get gray, so what's the freaking point, okay? Always when bad things happen in a relationship, who's the person you're gonna run to? Your friends. So always take care of your women friendship and women family members and women. Women are the source. Women is a blessing. When you take care of a woman, you are blessed, okay?
Decentering men, that's exactly what MJ Gray, that's what it looks like in a relationship. Decentering men is going to look as different as every single woman is in the healing journey and how much she enjoys the company of a man. But that is literally what it looks like. Anything less than that is everything less. Everything that you decide, all the energy that you decide to bring into your life is going to either amplify your peace or lessen your peace. There is no in between. So we already know that men are simple, that they don't have the historical data and neural patterning to have learned the communication skills that would allow them to be able to express the range of emotion, because sociologically they haven't been set up to do that. We can look that's just historical data. Okay, so then the expectations of a man all of a sudden becoming this emotionally capable person without seeing the work and effort in action, that's a fallacy. Okay, so you remove the romance from the relationship because that's a construct, and what you get is, okay, yeah, marriage is a scam, relationships are a scam because it's an expectation of behavior that has no basis in fact. Okay, great. That is fact. Okay, but you've got cash? Because listen, whether people want to admit it or nobody wants to talk about money, but you know, I've been around money and now I got a few shekels myself. Talking about money makes things the reality, and with money comes a level of peace. And so if I'm going to deal with a man, like I am a woman who eventually will have a relationship, maybe, that's where it is. And when I do, the person will be at a socioeconomic level because I don't have any conversations about anything about money. When I want something, I get it period. And that is my existence. And so if a man comes into that, then that is my same existence. My reality is not going to become less. Okay, that's where I made the mistakes before in other relationships. I recognized, oh, you're giving me about something that is my reality. It's not your reality. Oh, shit. So no, if it's not your reality, if you start barking, then you bye. And it's not, I wouldn't even hesitate. So when a man, if and when a man comes into my life, it's never going to be a conversation. It's like if I say to you, do you remember, I remember when I was last in Paris and we went to this little restaurant, and then I do a little sleuthing and I find it, or you do a little sleuthing and you find it, or we find any old fucking restaurant. I'm on a plane within the next month or so to Paris, right? Because I have done that for myself. So you coming into my life, you're doing at a minimum what I do for myself, and I do a lot. So decentering men is that you don't have an expectation that all of a sudden they're going to turn into some romantic, they can only mimic you. So if you tell them everything that you like, they're going to do everything that you like. Okay, that's how most men are. They mimic you. They mirror you. They are good observers. They spend most of their life observing women. So just don't have no expectation that he can't be who he can be. So what is he going to do for you? He better be making your life better, or what is the point of having him in your life? So MJ Gray is what it looks like when you decenter a man and you're a heterosexual woman. Because what other reason would you have a man in your life if he is not? If you want baubles and bits, then bitch, you better be getting it. If I like travel, at the end of the day, I want peace, and money provides you peace. In 9 months, he's getting her closer to being the supermodel billionaire. Bet. And they're only engaged. Come on. It's showing envy. What do y'all say? It's giving envy.
Practicing your laugh, rehearsing your stories, sitting there like, don't say anything weird, don't be too much, don't scare him away. Meanwhile, he's sitting there chewing with his mouth open and asking what your favorite color is like it's a personality trait. And you're nervous? For what? You were auditioning for someone who didn't even read the script. That's what happens when you put people on a pedestal. They don't become amazing, you just shrink. But the moment you decenter that, everything changes. Now you show up like, if I spill my drink, we laugh. If I'm awkward, we live. If this doesn't work, I go home and sleep peacefully. Because your peace is no longer on the table. That's the real flex. And here's another truth people don't like. When you stop needing someone,